The city of Wellington Wells is a wonderful place to live. There are so many fun activities, such as Simon Says.
Simon says, step on 3 lit platforms.
Doing a good job, and, my personal favourite, playing in the puddles outside. Oh, it's a jolly good time as long as you remember to take your Wait, what the hell is happening? I feel awful. I have the worst hangover. Well, I guess while I'm here, and since the developers already gave me a key for this game, my name is Ingenious Clown, and here are my thoughts and impressions of the early access alpha of We Happy Few by Compulsion Games. We Happy Few is a procedurally generated first-person survival roguelite with a story that revolves around one character trying his best to escape the city of Wellington Wells. You see, Wellington Wells is your typical mid-1900s dystopian society where everyone is forced to take a drug called joy to make everything better. This drug is a particularly strong and addictive psychotropic drug that suppresses bad thoughts and memories and paints the world in a particularly positive light. Dead rats turn into piñatas, a dreary sky turns into bright rainbows, and your step gains a little bit more giddy-up. The game's aesthetic immediately brings you back to BioShock in a sort of strange hybrid between the original Rapture with its dark and desperate feel, and Infinite's Columbia with the bright colors and, well, you can see the sky. That's pretty much where the similarities end, however. We Happy Few is a first-person game, but not a first-person shooter. The closest you'll get to shooting anybody is throwing a glass bottle at a cop, and missing terribly, and then paying for it. We Happy Few has a story to it, but the developers won't be adding it to the game until it releases out of early access. I think this is a great move on their part because it gives people like me an incentive to come back after the game is completed. And from what I've seen of the story in the prologue that we are given, it seems like a very interesting story that I would very much like to follow. The game's voice actors do a great job of displaying so many crazy emotions, and the game is a joy to listen to.
Too many penguins. Just lots of penguins. Everywhere.
Roast beef, beef Wellington, Wellington pie, shepherd's pie, apple pie, baked apple, baked potato, mashed potato.
Even without the story, however, we have our main quest to escape the city. Moment-to-moment gameplay has you wandering the various sectors of the city to gather materials, and solving minor quests for items and goodies as you build yourself up to take on the various steps of the main quest. Much of the challenge of the game is built around managing your needs and inventory space as you work towards your goals. Hunger, thirst, and sleep are all ticking away as you wander through the city, and their satisfaction levels directly affect the amount of stamina you have available during a fight, and, at the same time, exerting yourself more makes them tick away faster. Sometimes I almost feel like the needs deplete a little bit too quickly for me to ever really feel like I'm given a break from managing them. I often found myself chugging through my whole inventory and desperately eating rotten food to keep my stomach full, and then popping a pill to stave off the food poisoning. All the inventory management got to the point of slightly frustrating for me, but I also recognized that without the management of these needs in the inventory space, the game would get a lot easier. However, I'd still like to see some sort of auto-sort feature here, or at least some better color coding in the inventory, because I spent a lot of time staring at my inventory trying to find out where the hell I stashed my healing balm. Also, the inventory being mostly locked behind getting lucky enough to find expansion kits at the beginning of the game feels completely unnecessary. The game isn't all just fighting and inventory management though. You may get a quest to bring some old lady a pile of lily bulbs that only grow in the neighboring sector, or you may be sneaking around someone's house gathering food, or maybe you're popping a joy pill to put a smile on your face so you can pass through joy detectors and walk around the city without alarming anyone. And that's where the game's biggest strength lies, I think. There are so many ways to play and to approach your main goal. The procedural generation makes it so that each journey is completely different from the last, with even the main quest chain of escaping the city offering different variants between runs to keep things interesting. And this is where the roguelite aspects come in. The game is designed as a procedurally generated world with permadeath. However, if you don't want to deal with the stress of one-and-done deaths, the game does give you the option to lighten the load a little bit. There's an option for second wind, giving you the chance to survive a blow that would otherwise kill you, and even an option to turn off the permadeath altogether so you can make it through to the end. Oh, and there's crafting. There are so many materials in the game, it's easy to get overwhelmed and have a backpack full of garbage you'll never use. But again, that's where some of the challenge of the inventory management comes in. Crafting is a major component to your survival in We Happy Few, so you better learn to live it and love it. So down to the ultimate question, would I recommend We Happy Few in its current state? I enjoy the game a lot, but unless you're really excited by what you see from this game so far, I'd have to say wait. The final release date is sometime in 2017, which means that the developers have a lot of time to add new features and squash bugs. And believe me, there are plenty of bugs to squash. For example, sometimes quests just don't move forward even if you meet the requirements. This has caused me to solve a quest in a completely different way that I was intending, by having to murder everyone involved. Luckily that worked, until the next quest broke. By far the worst bug I encountered though happened when I accidentally walked around a loading zone. So as I entered a previous area to restock and refuel, none of the buildings loaded, so everything I had painstakingly prepared beforehand was gone to the void as I sprinted through the alleys after curfew with cops pursuing me. These things together killed my run, and it was a pretty frustrating way to lose. With a full narrative promised on full release, and a handful of missing features and present bugs, it's worth waiting at least a couple more months for this title to bake unless you really have to play it immediately. The game is a lot of fun as it is now though, don't get me wrong, but the potential here is so high that I'm pretty confident that it'll just get better and better. I'm definitely looking forward to the full release, and I'm most likely going to take an extended break from the game to wait patiently for it. So, that was We Happy Few, and my name is ingeniousclown. If you liked this video, be sure to hit that like button on your way out, and if you disliked it, let me know with the thumbs down button instead. And if you haven't already, be sure to follow me on Twitter @ingeniousclown and hit that subscribe button to be notified whenever I release a new video. And finally, if you're interested in watching some gameplay, feel free to click this link to watch my Let's Play of We Happy Few over on my gameplay channel, and I will see you next time.